Welcome back to Design Bundle's YouTube channel. If you guys are new here, my name is Crystal, and today we are going to work with dark transfer paper. So if you guys were here a few weeks ago, we actually worked with a light transfer paper. There's lots of different brands out there, but light is going to be for your white t-shirts and light colors. But today we're actually going to be working with the dark. It is more opaque, so that way you can use it on materials like black, for example. So we're going to go ahead and use this. There's different heat settings for these two. So for example, with this one, these are the StarCraft brand, so make sure and check your settings with the brand that you may have purchased. So for example, with the light, it's 375 for 30 seconds, and with the dark one, it is 350 for 30 seconds. You can use these with your Cricut Easy Press, but today I'm actually going to be using my heat press 15 by 15. So I've already got that set at 350 for 30 seconds. Now I've already pre-printed out my designs. I want you to note, first off, when you go to print these, you want to use an inkjet printer. You cannot use this with sublimation ink or laser ink. It needs to be inkjet. So you're going to have a white side, and most of them will have a side that has a pattern or their brand logo on it. So that way you guys know which one is front and back. So when you load this in your printer, make sure that you have it loaded in the way that it prints. For example, my printer goes in with the white side up and it prints out like so. So I've already pre-printed. What's really cool is you can fit multiple on one sheet like this. So today we're going to be doing a logo pocket in the front, and then we're also going to be doing a bigger design in the back. So as you guys can see that right here. So you guys can print really big designs up to 8.5 by 11, or you can print out multiple on one sheet. So I've did that. So I've got these ready to go. So what you need to do, you can actually use your die cutting machine. You can use your Cricut, Silhouette, and things like that to cut around these, but you don't have to. And that's what's fun about this product. So I really like to show you guys just using a pair of scissors. So all you simply need to do is cut away. So you can definitely just cut right up on that line, but I like to leave a little bit of a white border, and that's going to help it pop off of this black t-shirt as well, since I do have a black outline. So all you simply have got to do is go all the way around this, and I'm just going to leave maybe like 1/4 of an inch or so, maybe even less, maybe 1/4. And I'm just going to go ahead and do a nice clean cut all the way around. So as you guys can see here, we've got our design just like so. So I'm going to go ahead and set this one aside, and I'm going to do the same thing for this one. Another little tip before I completely cut this one out, I wanted to show you guys, you know, when you're trying to figure out your size for this, instead of wasting these, because say for example this comes 10 in a pack, you don't have a lot of these to waste. What I recommend is printing these out on regular copy paper first, so that way you can see that size. So I can actually place this on the t-shirt and make sure that that size is going to be good enough before I actually print it on the product. As well as I make sure that my inks don't have any lines in them or any of the colors are looking a little funny. So that's a little tip from me. All right, so now that we've got our designs cut out, I did this by hand, but once again, you could definitely print this through your print and cut settings with your Silhouette, Cricut, and things like that. So if you want to save time, you can definitely do that. So the next step that you want to do is go ahead, and I actually printed these out a day or two ago, so they had time to dry. But if you don't, you're printing them out right away, you really want to slide these before you start handling them and cutting them out. You want to slide them underneath here and let it dry for at least 1 minute to dry those inks, so that way you're not rubbing them off or anything like that. All right, so the very next thing that we need to do is peel off our back. So what you're going to do is just kind of get yourself a corner going, and then you want to peel this away. Now, if you have something that has a lot of intricate, so say for example you were using your Cricut or your Silhouette, you would want to get some carrier sheets. So you can purchase separate some carrier sheets to pick those up instead of trying to do this by hand. But this is such a big piece, you don't need it. So this one is going to be ready to go. So let's do the same thing with a small one. All right, so now we have both of these ready to go. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to do the back of the t-shirt first. So we've got a black t-shirt here. This is a belted canvas. It doesn't matter. It can be 100% cotton. It doesn't need to be anything special. So I'm going to go ahead and run this lint roller over first. I'm going to go ahead and do that now. And then what I want to do is go ahead and pre-press this. So I'm going to go ahead and take it over to my press. And then we're just going to go ahead and load it. And we're going to press this for around 5 to 10 seconds just to pull out that moisture and straighten everything out. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to apply this over here on the press because we can't tape it down or anything like that, and it doesn't have any adhesive to help us hold it in place. Unless you have a transfer sheet, that's going to help you. Obviously, it has some stick around it, but we don't have that. So I'm actually going to do it from here. So I'm just going to make sure I'm going to come down about where I want it to be, and I want to center everything up. So I'm just going to eyeball the back of my t-shirt, making sure everything looks good. Once I'm happy with it, I'm going to go ahead and take my parchment paper here, and I'm going to go ahead and apply that like so. And now we're ready to press it for the 350 for 30 seconds. Now keep in mind when you're under the heat press that when you're playing around with that heat can heat it up and kind of make it stay there. So make sure that you kind of get that lined up where you want it. I would recommend, if you guys are new, maybe using a transfer sheet, so that way you have that stick to help you move it from your table to really eyeball it over to the heat press. Now once again, you could definitely use your Cricut Easy Press for this as well. And we're simply just going to peel off this parchment paper like so. And there you have it. Look at how super cute these colors are. So once you press it too, your colors are going to come in a little bit brighter, and it just looks so good. So I did the back of the t-shirt like so, and now let's go ahead and get one right here on the pocket. So these are 1+ credit right now. If you guys are a Plus member, you guys can get these for 1+ credit, and you can find your state. So there's all of the states, so you guys can make these as well. All right, so let's go ahead and figure out where I want this to be. So I'm going to go ahead and take a ruler. So this is called a logo grid it. And what I'm going to go ahead and do is line this up and figure out about where I want this to be. So what's really cool is you're able to just kind of get your design under here and be able to eyeball exactly where you want it to be. So I'm thinking this looks good right here. And what I can actually do is kind of hold this in place with my fingers, take it over to my press, and then I can just kind of line everything up, just like so. So same thing, I'm going to take that same piece of parchment, I'm going to line it up, and then we are going to press it 350 for 30 seconds. So these are a ton of fun. You can definitely use these on onesies, little kids' t-shirts. You could do tote bags, pillows. You can apply this stuff on all sorts of things. Think about this being like a pattern, iron-on, pattern HTV. You're able to do whatever you would like. You could do full-page bleeds with a pattern and then cut it out with your die cutting machine as well. So that's just a few options that you could do with this stuff. So remember, your dark transfer paper is for your dark garments. All right. So once again, we're just going to remove that parchment paper, and there you have it. So you have a pocket in the front, and then in the back, we have it there as well. So like I said, this stuff is a ton of fun to play around with, and as you guys can see, that opaque that we have in the background, that white, lets us use it on these dark garments. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you guys found it helpful. If you did, please hit the like button down below and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.